Cage Season 1, Episode 6. The end of the arc. The story's over. We're done for the season.
Cottonmouth arrested. We're done.
Everything's fixed. We're cool. I guess it's the last episode. There's not 7 more. There must just be blank screen. I don't know.
Luke Cage sitting in a diner, talking in a barbershop.
Yep.
Okay.
So, what do you think that means, though? They wrapped up what seemed to be the overarching story, right? I mean, obviously, there's all the litigation, everything that goes involved, but it seems like he's won. He's succeeded what he's going to do, and they're ending it with him thinking about just leaving. Mm-hmm. What's happening, do you think, next?
Well, either there's going to be the kind of classic, Cottonmouth gets out on a technicality or something like that, or that's really done, and now my previous episode theory of not seeing Diamondback till next season is totally trashed, and Diamondback moves in, and he becomes the real problem, which maybe he was the real problem from the very beginning. It does seem like for Cottonmouth and his cousin Mariah, things have completely fallen apart.
Yep.
He's going to jail.
She probably will too.
The dirty lieutenant's in trouble. The bad detective Scarf is dead now. They got the notes. Although they left it kind of weird right there at the end from the captain, kind of making it sound like there's going to be a little bit of a political cover-up. I don't know.
It looked like she still had the book.
Mm-hmm.
But you think they would have yoinked that if they were trying to cover everything up. So I'm wondering if they even gave up all the info or if they just said they had it. I don't know.
Or maybe they're just going to try to keep it limited to, Cottonmouth and the lieutenant guy and not make a huge full investigation out of it, which means there could still be dirty cops around, revenge things happening, who knows. But what was also interesting was Luke Cage. I thought I had kind of gotten the feeling that from the last couple episodes that he was, okay, this is what I do. I'm public. I'm gonna fight these bad guys. I kind of got the feeling that his hero-ness had been turned on, but now it seems like he was very mission-oriented. Like he just wanted to get this done and then wipe his hands of it and fade away.
Well, like they keep stressing, he's still a fugitive, right? I mean, he did literally break out of prison, smash his way out on a wall. So who knows how that all went down. Maybe that could be part of what they cover next, is him trying to exonerate himself on some level so that he's no longer wanted by the police. But now, there's been a van driving into him. Cops have seen stuff. I'm wondering, where they're going to go from here, because he's way more public than any of the other heroes in this setting. And he's actually the one who needs to be the most secretive because he's technically still a fugitive. So I'm wondering if that's going to play a thing. If there's going to be a Luke Cage on the run thing next, or if that story of him exonerating himself is going to be the next thing. I don't know, but I'll tell you this episode wasn't action, but it was very high energy. I felt like, especially from the prison episode, I felt like it's been ramping up. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep that going through the rest of the season, or if there's going to be another dip and then another pickup again, because he was most superhero-y in this episode as he's been in any of them. I mean, he stood in the hallway to block all the bullets, literally jumped in front of a car and had it smash around him very Superman style. I'm wondering if they're going to he jumped out of a building and ran off. I'm wondering if they're going to keep pushing that, and if he's going to keep being more and more superhero-y, or if it's going to calm back down again and he's going to try to lay low.
I hope they do, because even though there was a lot of, gunfight kind of stuff in this one, and the car crash and the break-in, it was still very even keeled. They didn't try to really build it into a big kind of Hollywood action thing at any point. Again, keep coming back to this, the music still wasn't really high tempo. I just feel like they're holding back or something. I don't know.
I feel like this episode, though, had more energy with the music in it than the previous episodes had.
It did. The one
the
one part that I noted was when he had music going, or they played music when he was walking down the street to get into the apartment, and it almost seemed like I could imagine like he has a Luke Cage theme song going in his head when he's walking down the street or something. That was kind of cool. But now let's talk about effect shots, because they did the him stopping the van or the SUV.
Mm-hmm.
That was off camera.
Yep.
The jump was really off camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering. Obviously, that saves Netflix and whoever money.
Right.
So I'm wondering if everything's just sort of pacing and building, and they're gonna have the more actiony, effects laden stuff, in the end of the series kind of thing.
Well, they're known for doing these Netflix Marvel things on like super low budgets. Right. So I imagine, they're trying to not spend anything they have to on special effects. Because the 2 seconds of that car crash into it would have been cool, but it would have been worth
CGI.
Yeah, the expense. So I'm thinking, I'm wondering if it's. I still feel like this is going to be the tempo for the whole season. I imagine that either he's going to be trying to exonerate himself, or Diamondback's going to show up, and that's going to be the next 7 episodes. Maybe with some intro of him actually meeting some of the other people at the end, like either Daredevil or Iron Fist or someone that's showing up to like kick off the next thing. But I have a feeling this is going to be how we're going to be feeling it. I'm enjoying it. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, no, I am enjoying it. It's Luke Cage, not quite as Luke Cagey as I would like. There's not quite as much, I guess, action from such a powerful, physically powerful hero as I would hope. But I'm sure, I feel like they're probably going to build with that to that.
And they may also be kind of toning him down, because I know like Jessica Jones in the comic books is dramatically more powerful than she was in the show. Mm-hmm. She can almost fly, like she can fly, but Junkley, she's at one point she was supposed to be like on the Avengers, so she's supposed to be like an actual like super powerful person, not just someone who's kind of like strong but ridiculously strong, but like still can be beat up and everything like that. Like she's supposed to be a much more powerful character. I'm wondering if they're taking all of them down kind of a level to make it so that when they eventually do like a team up, that Daredevil doesn't look ridiculous, because he's just a guy who's fighting, and who knows what they're going to do with Iron Fist, if he's going to be, they have like that one clip of him like supposed to be like punching a hole in the wall, whatever it is, but I'm wondering if they're going to go huge with him, or if they're going to keep that kind of grounded. That might be what they're kind of doing too, is trying not to make him seem so ridiculously overpowered, because he's already the strongest thing in the room at any given time this whole season. Like there hasn't been anything that's physically challenged him at all, and really there hasn't been anything that's even mentally challenged him. Once he's on board, he's figured everything out and got everything taken care of. So I'm wondering if they're just going to keep that thing of him. I mean, he is the best thing ever, so it's like it's how they're viewing it, and he doesn't need to be more powerful because he doesn't need to unleash that next level type of a thing.
So I have one other, I guess, criticism. I think it's because of these series that are written as just one kind of continuous thing, and I think Netflix or whoever produces this is assuming people are going to binge watch, right? And kind of
not going to watch one episode a week or whatever.
See things in a big go. I have a problem with the names. They don't give you enough cues in the story. In my opinion, this could just be my disability, for the names. For instance, I wasn't hard convinced until like episode 4 that Misty Knight's partner's name was Scarf. Like,
no, yeah.
And they reintroduced the nurse, and I had to go look on IMDb because her name is Claire, but I don't know that they even said Claire.
Yeah, the entire time.
This whole season, or the 2 episodes she's been in. So there's and Mariah, okay, Cottonmouth's cousin. Her name is like Mariah Ridley or something, which again I had to look on IMDb. She's AKA Black Mariah, which in one scene in one episode he calls her that, and she didn't like it. But everyone is calling her Councilwoman, like all the reporters and stuff, they're not saying her name. There's a lot of, they could do cues, I think, to kind of remind people from episode to episode character names, especially for the second and third tier characters. Like, I keep the chess playing guy, his name is Bobby Fish, and they call him Bobby Fischer because that's the name of a famous chess player, but they don't come back to it a lot. And so, like, when I see him, I have like a mnemonic device in my head: chess player, Bobby Fischer, Bobby Fish. And it's like, I don't know if that's a symptom of how they film this to be binge watched and it just kind of falls through the cracks or something. I don't want it to be real blunt either. I don't want him to just go, and now returning to the screen, this person,
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, I want to know these characters' names and I'm losing track, and I wish they could handle that part of the writing a little better.
Well, see, the advantage for me is that I can never remember any character's name in any show. So it's the same for me. It hasn't changed for me. So I haven't experienced that because I'm always, anytime in any show when they're like, so-and-so did this, I'm always like, oh, okay, I'll just have to wait for them to show me who that is because I can't remember anybody's name. Right. So this show doesn't feel any different for me in that regard. But again, that's always my problem. So maybe that's what it is. But I see what you're saying. But maybe it's also because they're going for a more pseudo-realistic dialogue. Like, we don't normally come in and go like, hello, Matt, how are you? That's not normally how I greet you. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? Or something like that. So I guess people don't usually just use proper names a whole lot. But I see what you're saying.
They could do it a little. I mean, like, when Claire comes into the diner and reminds Luke Cage of how he knows her, she doesn't. I don't think she even said, I'm Claire.
No, she doesn't.
She says, I'm the one who took care of you when your friend, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, just say your name.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little beef.
So, is that your only complaint so far in the show?
That's my only major complaint.
I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, we're kind of at the midway point. It seems like there's going to be another story arc. I'm sure there'll be some wind up for this. Let's have some fun here. Let's do a rating.
Okay.
So, for the first 6 episodes, using our standard, pass, like, love, must buy, what are you giving this?
I'm going to love it. I've enjoyed it. I want to see the entire story play out and see how we finish. But for right now, I definitely give it a love it. However, in terms of comic book feel and just story shenanigans, I would rate it behind Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Okay.
How about you?
I think I'm the same way. I'd be in that love it range. I'm really enjoying it. Definitely going to watch all the rest of it. Even if this was the whole season, I'd be happy. I'd be like, oh, I want to hope the next season says season 2 is good. If I'm kind of rating it, I think that, I don't know. I definitely think that Daredevil's, I would say it and Daredevil to me are kind of tied for the first. Jessica Jones is slightly below the other two to me.
Really?
Yeah. I think part of it's just because I think Luke Cage is a way more enjoyable character to me. As a person, he's more fun to watch. I don't ever feel like he's being an idiot like I sometimes do with Daredevil and Jessica Jones of what they're doing, and they're getting his thing is trying to not get involved has been what's been holding him back. But once he's in, he's all in, and he's a hero. Whereas all the other people, I feel like they have other hangups that's getting in their way. So I appreciate him as a character more, I think.
Okay.
So that's our episode 6, season 1 wrap-up episode. We're going to take a little break here, watch the rest of them, and post those videos soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.